Have you ever felt like your house is screaming at you? That every object out of place, every cluttered corner, and every drawer you can't close is a constant reminder that things have gotten out of hand. That feeling of opening your eyes every morning and, before starting the day, already feeling exhausted because everything around you seems like chaos. You're not alone. Many of us live trapped in a house full of things we don't use, don't need, and that, instead of making us happy, drain us. Today I want to introduce you to a method that changed the way I see order and can do the same for you, the Streamline Method. Streamline means to simplify, lighten, make things more efficient and less burdensome. It's a minimalist approach, but it's not about living with a plant and a mattress on the floor. It's about keeping only what truly adds value to your life and your family's life. And so that it doesn't stay just as theory, I want to share with you 10 practical examples so you can start today to reclaim your space, your peace, and your time. First, open that drawer you avoid. We all have that drawer. That drawer we fear, that we open and quickly close because we know what's in there is an absolute mess. Tangled cables you don't even remember what they were for, batteries that probably don't even work, appliance manuals for things you no longer have, broken keychains, old receipts, loose buttons, phone chargers you're not even sure work, and all kinds of little objects you once thought might come in handy. And they're still there, gathering dust, taking up space, getting in the way. That drawer isn't just a messy drawer. It's a reflection of all those decisions you've postponed. Of all those things you didn't want to throw away just in case, because one day I might need it, because it feels wrong to toss it. And the truth is, deep down, you know you're not going to use any of it. If it's been sitting there for more than 6 months without you looking for it, needing it, or even remembering it exists, it's not part of your life. I want you today, after watching this video, to sit in front of that drawer. No excuses, no putting on music, no distracting yourself with your phone. Just you, the drawer, and a trash bag. Take everything out. Yes, everything. Put it on the table or the floor. And start sorting through it without sentimentality. That cable you don't even know what it belonged to out. That rusty battery out. Manuals for microwaves or blenders you no longer have out. Broken things you kept thinking you'd fix and haven't touched in years out. You'll be surprised by the amount of stuff you keep for no reason. And the curious thing is, as you empty it out, you'll feel a sort of relief. As if a small invisible weight you've been carrying got lighter. And that's just one drawer. Imagine what will happen when you start doing it in other spaces. Once you've cleaned it out, decide what truly deserves to stay. Maybe a charger you actually use, some fresh batteries, a couple of important keys and nothing else. You don't need a drawer full of things, just in case. You need a functional drawer. One that, when you open it, doesn't make you groan, but lets you find what you need in a matter of seconds. You can even use small organizing boxes or dividers to keep everything from getting jumbled up again. But the important thing is that you only put back what you really use and what has a clear purpose. Every time you find yourself doubting whether to keep something or not, ask yourself, when was the last time I used this? If you can't remember, you don't need it. Could I easily replace it if one day I happen to need it? If the answer is yes, it's not worth keeping. This simple exercise is so much more than tidying a drawer. It's the beginning of letting go of unnecessary things. It's training your mind to release, to stop clinging to what's useless. And when you make that small decision, without realizing it, you start applying it to other areas of your house and your life. Today it's the drawer. Tomorrow it could be that closet that bothers you every time you open it. The next day, your schedule full of commitments that don't serve you. Because tidying the outside always ends up tidying the inside. And that, in the end, is the real goal. Second, in the kitchen. The kitchen tends to be one of the places where things pile up the most without us noticing. And not because we have a surplus of large appliances, but because of small utensils. The ones we buy because they were on sale, because they seemed useful, because they came in a set, or because someone gave them to us. And suddenly, without knowing how, you have 4 spatulas, 3 can openers, 5 ladles, 2 peelers, cookie molds you used once 3 Christmases ago, and a drawer full of utensils you don't even remember what they're for. What happens in the kitchen is that since they're small objects, it doesn't seem serious. But every time you go to grab something, you have to rummage through half the drawer, move things aside, reorganize, and that micro frustration you feel repeats itself day after day, every time you cook. And it turns into mental noise, into little moments of stress you accumulate. The first thing I want you to do is open all the drawers and hangers in your kitchen. Take everything out. Absolutely everything. Lay it on the table. And start seeing how many duplicate utensils you have. Spatulas, large spoons, hand mixers, peelers, strainers, molds. If you have more than one or two, stop and think. Do you really need 5 ladles? How often do you cook something that requires having 5 at the same time? The same goes for can openers, scissors, small knives. Pick the best ones. The ones you actually use, the ones that work well, the ones you like. Keep those. The rest, either donate them, recycle them, or toss them if they're broken. Be honest with yourself. If that old peeler doesn't peel well anymore, why are you keeping it? If that spatula has a melted tip and you keep using it out of resignation, let it go. You deserve to use things that work well and make your tasks easier. And there's another important point, the just-in-case utensils. That Christmas cookie mold you used once 5 years ago. That garlic press you don't use because you prefer to chop it with a knife. That waffle maker you've never taken out of its box. It's time to be honest. If you haven't used it in a year, it's very unlikely you'll use it in the coming months. And if you ever need it, you could borrow one from a friend or buy it when you truly plan to use it. I guarantee that by decluttering, you won't just gain physical space in your drawers and cabinets. You'll also save time while cooking because you won't have to dig through a pile of stuff. You'll enjoy being in your kitchen more because everything you see and use will be functional and chosen with intention. This exercise will also help you realize how many purchases we make without thinking. How sometimes marketing or the idea of the perfect kitchen leads us to accumulate things we don't need. Learning to live with the essentials doesn't mean living limited, it means living light. With fewer things, and more clarity. And that's the idea behind the Streamline Method, keeping only the best. Not what's abundant, not what you feel guilty about throwing away, not what might come in handy someday. Only what you truly use and value today. Because your kitchen, like your home, should be a place of enjoyment, not frustration. Third, your closet. The closet, that deeply personal space, and at the same time, so full of ghosts. Because it doesn't just store clothes, it holds guilt, broken promises, impulse buys, and nostalgia that no longer belong in your life. And the worst part is, every time you open it, all of that stares you straight in the face. Without you realizing it, a cluttered closet steals your peace of mind, generates emotional noise, and makes you feel bad about your body, your decisions, and your image. I want you to think for a moment about how much clothing you have in there that you don't wear. That blouse you bought because it was on sale, that you said, "I'll wear it someday," and it still has the tag. Those pants you keep for when I lose weight, as if having them hanging there somehow brings you closer to that goal. That dress you loved 5 years ago but no longer represents you, and every time you see it, you feel a pang of nostalgia or frustration. It's time to be radically honest. Look in the mirror, open that closet, and ask yourself, does this fit me? Does it make me feel good when I wear it? Have I used it in the last 6 months? If the answer is no, there's no reason for it to keep taking up space in your life. The Streamline Method isn't about having very little clothing. It's about having only what works for you. The pieces that, when you put them on, make you feel good, comfortable, confident like yourself. Even if you end up with fewer garments, I guarantee you'll get dressed faster, with less frustration, and you'll feel better about yourself. Do the practical exercise. Take every piece of clothing out of your closet and lay it on your bed. One by one. Try them on if you have to. And decide without fear. That t-shirt that's old, stretched out, or stained, let it go. That itchy, tight blouse, it doesn't need to stay. The pants you're saving for when you lose weight are tying you to a version of yourself that doesn't exist today. And today, you deserve to dress in clothes that make you feel good now, not in some hypothetical future. Keep only what fits you, what you love, and what you actually use. Not because it was expensive, not because someone gave it to you, not because it might be useful for an occasion that never comes. Only what genuinely adds something to your daily life. You'll see how your closet starts to breathe. How it stops being a graveyard for forgotten garments and becomes a light, easy space where everything you see makes sense. where everything you grab to wear makes you happy and fits. And the best part is that this exercise will change how you shop for clothes in the future. You'll stop buying out of anxiety, impulse, or just in case. You'll start choosing with more intention, more awareness, and more respect for yourself and your space. Because tidying up your closet is about much more than organizing clothes. It's about letting go of burdens, expectations, guilt, and past versions of yourself. And making room for who you are today with your current tastes, your real body, and your true style. Fourth, your bathroom. The bathroom is another one of those places where clutter disguises itself as order. Because everything's tucked away in drawers, baskets, shelves. And it seems fine, but in reality, you have things piled up that you don't even remember exist. And since they're small items, they might not take up much physical space, but they do take up mental space. Every time you open a drawer or shelf and see those bottles, something in your head says, I should use this, why did I even buy this? Or this is probably expired. And that mental noise, though it seems minimal, weighs on you. I want you, when this video ends, to go straight to your bathroom. Not tomorrow. Not later. Today. Open every drawer, basket, shelf, and take out absolutely everything. Cosmetics, creams, perfumes, nail polish, soaps, face masks, all of it. Lay it out on a towel or table. Now comes the important part. Check expiration dates. You'd be surprised how many expired products you have and didn't even realize. And worse, sometimes we keep using them out of habit or because we don't notice, and that's not just useless, it can also harm your skin. Anything expired, toss it. No guilt. No excuses like, but it still smells fine, or there's a little left. It goes. Then, check for duplicates. How many hand creams do you have open? 5? 6? Keep the one you actually use, the one you like, the one that works. The rest, if it's new, give it away. If it's been opened and untouched for months, throw it out. Same goes for shampoos, face masks, perfumes you don't even like but keep just in case. Be brutally honest. That nail polish you bought 2 summers ago that's all thick, let it go. That face mask you never use because it's a hassle, out. That soap that dries your skin, stop forcing yourself to use it. Your bathroom should be a place where everything is functional, current, and something you genuinely use. When you finish decluttering, you will notice something incredible, the empty spaces. And instead of rushing to fill them again, stay with that emptiness. Enjoy it. Seeing a drawer with only 2 or 3 organized items, instead of 15 piled up, will give you a sense of peace and control that you never imagined. Moreover, you will stop wasting money buying things you already had. Because when everything is visible and in order, you know what's there and what you really need to replace. The Streamline Method is not just about tidying up for the sake of tidying up. It's about becoming aware of what you are allowing into your home, your body, and your routine. It's about choosing with intention. And in the bathroom, where everything we use directly impacts our skin, hair, and well-being, it's vital to learn to keep only the essentials and let go of the unnecessary. Because you don't need 10 different creams to feel taken care of. You just need one good one that you actually use. And your bathroom, like your life, should only be filled with things that make you feel good. Fifth, in the decoration. The decoration in your home should be like a silent conversation with yourself. Every object, every picture, every decoration should say something about you, about what you love, what inspires you, what makes you feel comfortable. But the reality is that, if you stop and really look, there are many things there that you didn't choose, or that you chose years ago but no longer represent you. Things that simply stayed because someone gave them to you one day, because you thought they were pretty, because they seemed to fill an empty space. And they're still there, occupying physical and emotional space. I want you to do this exercise. Stand in the middle of your living room, or in any decorated corner of your house, and look around. Stop at each object. That vase, that painting, that ceramic decoration, that candle, that porcelain figurine. For each item, ask yourself a simple but powerful question. Do I love this? Do I really like it? If I saw it in a store today, would I buy it again? If the answer is no, let it go. It doesn't matter if your aunt gave it to you 3 years ago. It doesn't matter if it was a souvenir from a trip that doesn't even bring you good memories. It doesn't matter if it's still new, or might come in handy one day. The decoration in your home shouldn't be a collection of obligations or decorated guilt. And keep in mind, it's not about having an empty house, but about having only the right things. The ones that bring beauty, joy, and most importantly, calm. Because a visually cluttered home is a mind that never rests. And you deserve a home where your eyes and your soul can be at peace. Sixth, the children's toys. If you have children, you know that toys multiply like magic. No matter how many times you tidy up, there always seem to be more. Birthdays, Christmas, rewards, gifts from grandparents, surprises. And the worst part is that many of those toys end up forgotten at the bottom of a box, under the bed, or piled in a corner. And I understand, because sometimes you feel guilty about getting rid of things from the kids. You think, what if they look for it later? It was a gift from grandma, it was expensive. But I want to tell you something important. Children don't do well being surrounded by too many things. They get saturated. They get overwhelmed. They lose the ability to focus, to create, to appreciate. Because when everything is within reach all the time, nothing feels special. That's why, at this point, I want you to do something that will change your life. Gather all the toys in the house in one place. Yes, all of them. Take the ones from the living room, the bedroom, the car, the backpack, the terrace. Everything. Make a big pile of toys. And with your child, if possible, or by yourself if they're still very young, start separating. First, discard the broken, incomplete, or worn-out ones. Those go without thinking. Then, identify which ones are actually used. The ones they look for daily, the ones they take to bed, the ones they love. Keep those. Keep a small but well-selected group. The rest, donate it. There are children who don't have any toys. There are nurseries, charities, pediatric hospitals that accept toys in good condition. And it's a beautiful opportunity to teach your child to let go, to share, to understand that they don't need 50 toys to be happy, that with fewer toys, play is better. And you will notice it. Because when the toys are organized, visible, and there's no excess, children play more. They concentrate. They imagine. Their creativity blossoms. And with fewer options, they value what they have more. They take care of their things. They develop an interest in keeping them in good condition. Also, you will breathe too. You won't trip over toys everywhere, and you won't have to fight to keep things organized all the time, because it will be easier for them. And that order will bring peace, calm, and harmony to your home. And don't feel guilty. Attachment to objects is something we adults teach children. They aren't born that way. If you show them that life can be better with less, that donating is an act of love, and that their things can make another child happy, you will be planting in them a much healthier relationship with material possessions. The Streamline Method isn't just about your space. It's also an opportunity to teach values, to teach letting go, organizing, and appreciating. And believe me, you'll see the difference not only in your home, but also in their behavior and emotional well-being. Because a child surrounded by physical chaos is a child with less inner calm. Organize that corner, and I promise everything will start to change. Seventh, in the fridge. The fridge is one of those places where disorder hides. You think it's full of food, but in reality, it's full of leftovers, expired things, and foods you don't even remember buying. And that clutter not only occupies physical space, but also drains energy, steals time, and wastes money. Think about how many times you've left something at the back of the fridge and found it weeks later, already spoiled. How many times have you bought extra because you didn't know you already had something? How many times have you thrown away food that you never used? This, besides generating waste and expense, creates a feeling of chaos that you can feel every time you open the door. That's why I want to propose something very simple, but profoundly transformative. Do a weekly fridge cleanup. Not monthly. Not when I remember. Every week. Choose a fixed day, maybe just before you go grocery shopping, and take absolutely everything out. Check expiration dates. Whatever is expired, throw it away. Anything that's been open longer than recommended, too. And jars with 2 tablespoons of sauce that no one has used in months? You don't need to keep them. Keep only the fresh items, the ones you're actually going to use in the next few days. Then, clean the trays and compartments. You won't believe how the energy in your kitchen changes with a clean, organized fridge. It's another world. And then, plan your meals. Look at what you have, what you can cook with it, what's missing, and make a realistic shopping list. That way, when you go shopping, you'll buy only what's necessary, nothing more. This not only prevents food from getting wasted, but also gives you peace of mind. Because there's nothing more stressful than coming home tired, opening the fridge, and not knowing what to do with the chaos inside. Instead, if everything is in its place, and you know exactly what's there and what you can prepare, everything flows much better. Also, having space in the fridge is a symbol of mental order. It's not true that a fridge packed to the brim is a sign of abundance. Many times, it's a sign of unnecessary accumulation, a fear of running out, of disorganization. And when you apply the Streamline method in your kitchen, you realize that less is more. With just the right amount, well organized and fresh, you cook better, eat better, and live better. Because you're not just organizing food. You're organizing your time, your budget, and how you care for your family. So, do that cleaning. Every week. Make it a sacred routine. And you'll see how not only your fridge changes. The way you relate to your home, your food, and yourself will change too. Because you deserve a clean, clear space, where opening the fridge is not a fight, but a breath. 8th, eliminate accumulated plastic bags. Have you noticed how many plastic bags you have in your house? You open a drawer, and there they are. Under the sink, in the pantry, in the bag of bags. Yes, we have bags inside bags. And the excuse is always the same, just in case. Just in case I go out for the trash, if I need to store something, if it rains. But the truth is that this just in case has become an absurd pile that takes up space, pollutes, and creates disorder. I want you to go to that place where you know you keep them. Take them all out. You'll see that you have dozens, sometimes hundreds. Some new, others wrinkled, some halfway torn. Ask yourself how many you really need for your daily life. 3, 5, 10 at most, for trash or an occasional emergency. You don't need more. Keep only the reusable ones that you actually use. And if you can, even better, replace them with sturdy fabric bags or eco-friendly material bags that you can wash and reuse many times. Because let's be honest, you're not just freeing up space in your house, you're also stopping yourself from filling yours and the planet's with things that don't add value. The rest, throw it away. Take it to a recycling center if you have that option, but don't keep storing mountains of bags that don't make sense. Because each of those bags takes up space that could be used for useful things, to free up your drawers, to stop feeling like your kitchen is invaded. And the most curious thing is that once you do it, you won't even realize that you're missing them. Because when you organize your house with intention, you realize that many of the objects you accumulated were just there because you never stopped to question it. The same happens with the bags. The Streamline method is that, asking yourself why you're keeping what you're keeping. And if the answer isn't strong, it's not worth it. Because having your house organized isn't just about having fewer things, it's about having the right things. The ones that serve you, that you use, that you really need. And everything else, out. So don't procrastinate on this point. Don't tell yourself, I'll organize them tomorrow. Do it today. Empty that drawer or that giant bag. Keep only the essentials and change the habit. Let them not accumulate again. Every time a new one enters your home, think about it. Are you going to use it? Really? If not, don't let it stay. You will be surprised by how good it feels to open a space that was once filled with bags and find it empty, clean, clear. It's one of those small actions that frees you more than you imagine. Because tidying your home also means tidying your way of consuming, accumulating, deciding what stays and what goes. And that, my friend, shows inside and out. 9th, review the papers. This point is one of the most invisible but heaviest of all, the papers. Because unlike a broken chair or an ugly ornament, paper doesn't take up much volume, but it invades drawers, shelves, purses, pockets, and worst of all, your mental peace. These are bills you no longer need, appliance manuals for devices you don't even own anymore, old shopping receipts, expired warranties, advertisements, notes you promised to review one day. And there they are, piled up, collecting dust and chaos. The problem with papers is that we think all of them are important, just in case. That just in case I need it later is the number one excuse to accumulate them. But let's be honest, how many times in the past 12 months have you gone back to search for a supermarket receipt from last year? Or checked the manual for that kettle you already replaced? Exactly. So today, I propose something liberating. Take that box, that envelope, that drawer full of forgotten papers, and empty it all onto a table. Everything. No mercy. And start sorting. The first thing you need to do is eliminate old advertisements, receipts, invoices for things that are already out of warranty, notes you can't understand, scraps of paper with phone numbers you don't even remember who they belong to. All that goes straight to the recycling bag. Next, review the manuals. If the appliance no longer exists, the manual shouldn't either. And if you still have it and that manual is also available online, which it almost always is, consider getting rid of the physical one. Everything is digital now, and you don't need to fill your drawers with information that you can access in seconds from your phone. For the few things that truly matter, contracts, policies, birth certificates, deeds, certificates, organize them in clear folders. One for personal documents, another for household matters, another for recent bills you do need to keep. And once that's done, digitize as much as you can. Scan those important papers and save them in a secure cloud or your email, labeled and easy to find. And trust me, doing this doesn't just free up physical space. It frees up mental space. Because there's nothing worse than living surrounded by pending papers. They're always there, reminding you that there are things to sort, things to review, things to file. And when you finally get rid of them or organize them, it's like lifting a weight off your shoulders. Plus, you'll gain efficiency in your day-to-day life. When you need a document, you'll know exactly where it is. You won't waste half an hour searching through old papers. And you'll avoid the stress of looking for something important among piles of useless things. So don't underestimate this point. It's a before and after in your home. Sorting papers is about beginning to put order in the decisions you've been postponing, in the pending tasks you've been dragging along. And when you face that, you're not just organizing papers. You're organizing your life. 10th, make it a habit. This final point is key, because what will really keep your house organized isn't a deep clean every now and then, but the daily habit. If you keep waiting for Saturday to do everything at once, you'll keep feeling overwhelmed, tired, and even frustrated. Big changes don't happen in one go, but in those small daily moments that build up over time. Imagine this, every day in the middle of your daily routine, you find 5 minutes. Just 5. It's the time it would take you to review a drawer, a cabinet, a shelf. You don't have to do it all in one day. You don't have to spend hours. Just 5 minutes. In that short span of time, you can tidy up that pile of papers that builds up near the entrance. Or take out those kitchen items you never use and that are just taking up space. Or check a bathroom shelf, leaving only what you use and tossing the rest. Those 5 minutes may not sound like much, but in the long run, they'll make a huge difference. At first, it might feel like you're not achieving anything, but trust me, over time, that daily practice is what will truly transform your home. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the accumulation, you'll learn to keep things under control, step by step, without having to sacrifice your time or mental peace. The best part? You won't feel the pressure. The problem with deep cleans is that no matter how much you plan to do it, there comes a point when you feel overwhelmed by the amount of things you need to do. But if you break it down into small daily doses, the work becomes light. And each time you do a little, you get closer to the home you want. Every time you take those 5 minutes, it's a small victory. And when you get used to this habit, you'll suddenly realize that your house is much more organized than you imagined. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's consistency. It's that daily dedication, that small repeated action, that creates lasting results. Make it a habit. Apply it every day, without waiting for cleaning Saturday to come. If you do it regularly, your house will no longer be a burden, but a harmonious space. Because when you dedicate a few minutes a day, when the task doesn't pile up, everything flows much more easily. And your home will stop being a chaotic place and turn into an organized, calm refuge, where everything you have truly matters. Remember, organizing isn't just about aesthetics. It's not just to make everything look pretty or to make your guests say, "What a beautiful house." Organizing is something much deeper. It's mental health. It's regaining control, not only over the objects around you but over your environment and your time. Because when your house is in order, something changes inside you. Your mind clears up, your stress decreases, your thoughts flow more clearly. Because in the middle of chaos, it's hard to find peace. But when your space is clean and organized, you feel lighter, more centered. When everything is in its place, you're not just cleaning dust and organizing things. You're also cleaning your mind, eliminating the mental overload that you sometimes don't even realize is there. That feeling of being surrounded by pending tasks, things you have to do, disorganized spaces that unconsciously stress you out. And when you finally face that, the accumulation of unnecessary things, you start to feel more in control of your life, your decisions, your time. So if this video moved something inside you, if you feel it's time to make a change, start today. You don't need to do everything at once. Choose just one drawer, one shelf, the space that feels most manageable. You'll see how, by doing it, that small action will have a big impact. Everything you eliminate, every space you free up, will become a small triumph, a victory over clutter. And before you know it, your home, your life, and your mind will be much more organized. If you like these ideas and want more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to not miss any of our videos. See you in the next one. Good luck with your organizing. Your home will thank you.